what I would hear from women that I viewed as strong leaders and that I would love to see run, they wouldn't put their name out there. They wouldn't run. So I think what the Go Run on the Iron Range could really do for our local women in our region is really inspire them to consider running for offices and make it seem realistic and plausible that they could actually do that. And I said this during my campaign too, that I hope, even if I didn't win, that I hope to be an inspiration to other people to run, and that if I can do it, anybody really can do it.
One of the issues of women in leadership in rural communities is that rural areas especially have a way of isolating strong women.
They've accomplished something here that's never happened in my entire experience. I've been to hundreds of conferences. I've been involved in a lot of organizations, and I've never been at a conference that was not just diverse in audience, but diverse throughout the fabric and the fiber of the entire conference. It united the women in that room in ways they never could have been united before, and that's an accomplishment that humbles me and makes me hopeful.
I actually feel like I belong somewhere for the first time. Usually I felt out of place, and because I'm always thinking and reading and challenging and analyzing, and I always felt like a fish out of water, and I'm here and I'm going, all these women are here for the same reason.
It can be a scary process to be the only one standing or the only one at a table. And if you know you have 150 women behind you that you met up here at Boys Fort, you're going to feel much more empowered than if it was just kind of you thinking about this by yourself.
If I wouldn't have been there, I couldn't have challenged him on his thinking. I was there, and the only reason I was there is because I asked to be there. And I met people who could help me get there. That's what this is about. This is about making your connections and finding your voice so that you can be an advocate and you can be at the table. It's about changing the conversation that happens in public leadership. And it's about choosing a path to get you down the road to public leadership. You may not ever want to be president. You can be a small fish in a small pond and still make a difference. Even a small fish makes a ripple in the pond.
If you want to bring change for yourself, you got to be in there and be a part of it, you know, so that people hear the people that are actually homeless or, you know, violence against women or kids. You know, you got to be right there so that you have the voice so that people listen.
Sometimes you got to get outside of your arena of comfort, and you got to, a private citizen must become a public citizen. A private citizen must become a public citizen. You got to step outside of what you do for a greater good, you know? And well, that is why I ran, is, you know, because of that, but because I actually believe in what I stand for and what we are doing. I absolutely believe that my experience and the experience of a lot of the women in this room here is entirely valid for national and international leadership, because we understand what is going on.
Some of the aha moments came from listening to some of the panelists speak, and you know, they said, well, you have doubts, but if you're feeling this urge, or if there are signs in front of you, or if people are telling you you should do this, then maybe you should listen to them and you should think about doing it.
If we really capture the spirit that happened here in other areas, and women start to run in groups in their communities for the same positions, so that you have 2 or 3 different people that are women on the city council or running for county commissioner or in all areas of politics, that's going to be the real change, because we won't be isolated anymore and we'll create our own group of support.
Big or small, on the screen or off the screen, in the media or out of the media, we make a difference. And until we understand that lesson, we will not make change. You see these pictures today, you know, and it looks like just 2 women or 4 women or 8 people on these trips. There was always, always a groundswelling of people, from our families and our friends to strangers, that made it happen for us. And that's been the most profound lesson I think the polar ice caps have taught me, that we never do anything alone in this world, particularly anything great.
This is a time for women's leadership. I mean, it is going to happen. It is happening all over the world. And so you are part now of a White House Project training and a learning from it, but you are part of what is a worldwide thing that is a movement for more women to actually be in power.
A lot of women believed they could be leaders, but they didn't believe that they had the skill or the connections to do it. You just gave people the skills and the connections.